Welcome back everyone, Jonathan here with another mystery weapon. And I think this is quite a good mystery in that it's not a gun. Well, or is it? I mean, obviously it is, otherwise it wouldn't be on this particular series. But here's the big reveal. Not one, but two gun barrels on this rather amazing device, I suppose you might call it. In fact, what would you call it? Pistol, dagger, gun, knife? Kind of up to you. We'll pick something. So this is a Dumonthier patent. Now, Joseph Dumonthier, Paris, a Parisian gunmaker, known for his wacky stuff. So there's another type that I really want to get hold of that we don't have yet, which is a pinfire revolver where the blade is forged out into like a Bowie blade. It's amazing. It's like something out of a movie. We will get one day. But this isn't bad to be going on with. It's another one of Dumonthier's designs. And it's kind of simple yet complicated at the same time. So the basic form of it is, it's more of a large dagger, I suppose. They all, and these do come up at auction occasionally, so keep your eyes out. This downturned style of grip. This one is the only one I've seen with a brass sort of pommel caps either side. It's done in the style of grip plates. These are plates and these are plates. These are bone, textured for grip. And then they have sort of trophies of arms cast into them. Not super refined decoration, but you know, it's a stylistic touch. Bit more impressive, perhaps decoration-wise, is the foliate etching on the blade. This is a style of decoration that's not uncommon in terms of how it's applied on sword and especially sword blades. And the style of the sort of aesthetic aspect of it is quite similar to what was on Continental revolvers, pocket pistols, that kind of thing at the time. But again, I don't think I've seen one of these. I didn't go on a super deep look, but the few that I've seen come up for sale had plain blades. So that's interesting that ours is decorated. That would have been an option at the time. Before I get to the really interesting bit, just to keep you on tenterhooks for a bit longer, we have this scabbard or sheath, more of a sheath really, with a chape and a throat, belt hook, and it's shaped, of course, for this bizarre weapon, for the two gun barrels and the blade. The body of it is leather, and it has to swell out quite drastically to fit the gun barrels in. So that's the sheath. Now you'll be champing at the bit to want to know how on earth this works, and it's absolutely brilliant. So you can see from the sort of user's point of view there that these quillons are duplicated. There are 4 quillons. Now that's because when I pull back on that one, I have cocked one of my guns, and one of the triggers has descended, ready for use. And if we then do the same, and that exposes the firing nipple to put a cap on there. Now in theory, you could put a cap under that and let it down and carry it that way, and that's the only real way to carry it so that it's available. A little bit risky, because of course if you happen to drop the thing on the quillon, your gun's gonna go off. So nonetheless, we can do the same thing on the other side, and down drops the second trigger, and both guns are now cocked, ready to fire. Simple, but clever. A really elegant solution to perhaps a question nobody asked, but nonetheless. And you can see this view, actually, you can see the way the blade, it's a what I suppose we now call a full tang blade. It goes all the way to the end, nice and strong, nice and robust. And then either side of that, we've got accommodation for this very slim lockwork. It's a really, really nice design. The springs will be under the grips here. I don't dare take the grips off to investigate those. A mainspring is a mainspring at the end of the day. But it's just, there's not too much to say about this, except that it's just very, very cool. So I won't fire these off for obvious reasons, but I can just lower them so you can get an idea. Now, interestingly, there is a slot on the front of each of these hammers. There's a sort of relief slot. Now, I assume that's to channel the miniature explosion that goes on when you hit a percussion cap forwards and away from the user's hand, most likely. So if you've ever got your hands near an exploding percussion cap, and I don't recommend that you do, in fact I insist that you don't, it's still high pressure hot gas. It's not on the order of a powder charge going off, but it's still worth keeping your hands away from. So I think that's these are gas relief slots, effectively. And then when you've decocked or fired, God forbid you have to use this in anger, you can fold up your two triggers and it's back to being a knife or a dagger again. And although you've got the extra weight of these gun barrels and a bit of extra weight from the locks, the double guard, it's still pretty wieldy. It's, you know, I'm no knife fighter, but as combination weapons go, it seems pretty usable and very robust. We have other combination guns, swords, and similar. They do not inspire confidence. This one genuinely does inspire some confidence. We've got quite a long spear point blade here. That would do some serious damage. And two on the order of 50 caliber gun barrels. So this is a lot of weapon in one hand. Thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. It's the most important thing, other than visiting our real-world museum sites, of which we have 3, and we'd be very grateful if you come and see us there as well. But you can go and check us out over on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and there is a long-running, at this point, quiz, effectively, that dovetails nicely into this series of videos. You can enjoy them standalone, but you might find it fun to guess what it is that we're going to be talking about ahead of time. Either way, we'll see you again next time. Thanks again.